This is Record Royale, where we throw two albums into the ring with one another and see which one comes out on top. Adam? Alright, ready? Adam? 1, 2, 3, 4. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday to ya. That was so out of time.
Oh my god.
That was shit.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Yes.
Brad's birthday.
Hey, it's Brad's birthday.
Oh, jeez.
Right now, not on Monday when you're hearing this, but on Saturday, the 30th of May when we're recording. So we just gave you Stevie Wonder happy birthday. How do you feel after that?
I feel a bit older. And
Yeah.
I lost a bit of I gained a lot of respect for you.
That was terribly out of time.
That was hard.
Can you just
We
make
got
sure you put heaps of auto-tune on that?
Yeah, we got.
Yeah, hectic. Hey, awesome stuff. What a way to start the episode. Episode 7. Wow. Lucky number 7. Lucky number 7, Snake Eyes. Cool. Big ep. Disclosure, Daft Punk. House albums. Brad, two of your favourites, aren't they?
Woohoo.
For your birthday. We didn't even plan that.
Yeah, who would have thought?
Did you have
Stars aligned.
Did you have a great time listening to these albums this week?
Absolutely. Did you guys? How do you guys
I
find
loved
it?
I'll get into it.
Yeah.
I'll get into it.
Yeah, let's hear it.
No, we'll get into it throughout the app. But I had good moments and some tougher times.
Aye.
But I'll let you know. You're probably gonna hate me a little bit. I'm gonna let you down on your birthday.
Oh, that's fine.
I'll admit it took me a little bit actually to get into it, especially Disclosure. Like I already knew Daft Punk's album pretty well, but Disclosure's album, it took me a little bit of warming up, just because I'm not used to listening to like more than a track of straight electronic music.
That was my thing. I the first like few listens, it just kept dragging on, like really dragging. Like I really liked the top half of the album, but the second half I just could not get into. But then I put it on at work yesterday, and I'm just like sitting down, can't go anywhere kind of thing, and it was really like chill. But I still have like a couple of beefs with it. But that little session I had at work yesterday saved it for me a little bit.
Can I try and convince you wrong?
Yeah.
What's that, Brad?
I'll try and convince you wrong.
Well, I hope you do. I wanna. I'm not saying it's bad. Like I don't, it's not going to be a blowout. Like I'm talking it up to be right now. But yeah, let's. Shall we get into the app?
Yeah, let's hook straight.
So on the polls that we put up on our Facebook and Instagram every Friday before we record, who people think's going to win this one? It was actually pretty interesting. So it ended up being 56% to Daft Punk and 44% Disclosure. But on Facebook, all the votes for Disclosure, like 80%, and then on Instagram, like 90% of the votes for Daft Punk.
Yeah, right.
So I thought that was quite a little interesting, little fact there. But yeah, still more to Daft Punk. So let's have a look. Let's see if the people are right. So we'll kick it off with let's do Settle first. Settle by Disclosure. So Disclosure, British electronic duo formed in 2010 in England by the two brothers. I didn't know they were brothers.
Yeah, twins.
True.
Yeah. No, not twins.
Not twins?
Howard, when they when they released this, Howard was 18 and Guy was 21.
Wow.
Howard and Guy Lawrence from England. Which is pretty crazy. Heaps young. Like 18 when they released the album.
They look like little kids in their early interviews as well. Like little nerds. It's great.
Yeah, they would have been like 16. Well, the younger one would have been like 16, 17 when they wrote these songs.
That's crazy.
It's mental.
Crazy.
I
I
didn't
always
know
think
that
it's
at
crazy. Yeah. The record Settle was released on the 31st of May, so 2013, nearly 7 years ago tomorrow. 7 years ago yesterday, from when this episode comes out, by PMR Records. Never heard of them before. They're a British label. They were only founded in 2011. The only two releases that I really like, I didn't even know, Jessie Ware. She's on the album. She features on the album. And Girl put out albums with them. So, have you heard of them?
No.
No.
Neither. Anyway,
Yeah.
carry on.
Carry on.
Produced by Disclosure themselves. A guy called James Napier co-wrote 4 of the songs with him.
Mm-hmm.
He's wrote songs for Sam Smith since this, Madonna, DJ Khaled. Pretty dope.
Cool.
The album has features from, as I just said, Sam Smith, which was his first ever really doing anything. First song.
Yeah,
It was
he
his
kind of put him
breakthrough.
on. Yeah.
Yeah.
I heard he did a couple of verses like in his lunch break at his bar job.
Really?
Really?
Yeah. Yeah,
True.
both of them were just working bar jobs, I'm fairly sure, and that's how they kind of met.
That's
What, one of the
crazy.
Disclosure guys?
Yeah, I'm fairly sure. And yeah, it's crazy that like where he's at now.
Mm.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
huge.
It was such a quick
Yeah.
rise after that track came out. It was just like every single song that you ever heard on the radio, he was somehow involved in. It seems like.
What's Sam Smith's biggest song? Is it Stay With Me?
Yeah.
Or is it like...
Yeah, probably that.
God, that song was everywhere. Absolutely everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I did not know this was his first track.
Thanks.
Also features Luna George, Ed McFarlane, Sasha Keeble, Eliza Doolittle, Jamie Woon, Jessie Ware, and London Grammar. Also, I just noted the voice in When a Fire Starts to Burn is a guy's named Eric Thomas, who's an
Yep.
American motivational speaker who has a bunch of videos on YouTube. And I'm really annoyed because I saved the link to watch the original video and I never got around to watch it. Did you watch it?
Yeah, I've seen it a couple
Oh,
times.
I didn't see it.
Is it funny?
It's him sitting out in the middle of the road, just talking real. It reminds me of that other motivational media guy that we used to see in high school heaps. That guy with the iPhones and iPads. Not enough.
Let me tell you here. Let me tell you here right now. All these iPhones and iPods and iMacs. Not enough we's and us's. All these touch screens are making us lose touch. Man,
Yeah,
was-
same
that was
thing,
beautiful.
kinda. Yeah.
can we autocorrect humanity? Go look that video up. Tragic
Oh.
stuff.
I shall.
The album had 6 singles. How many songs on the album? 14, I think. I think there's 14 on both albums, isn't there?
Yeah.
They're big albums.
cool.
Biggest we've.
Yeah, they both
faced
go
in-
for about an hour.
Yeah.
6 singles. Latch peaked at number 7 on the US charts, but it peaked at number 7 on the US charts in August 2014. So it's like a year and a half after its release.
Yeah, I think that's when the Deluxe album came out.
Right.
When all
Okay,
the
that
extra
would make
tracks
sense,
came out
yeah.
as well, yeah.
But yeah, that's crazy. White Noise got number 2 in the UK. You and Me, Flume did the remix of that song, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yes.
So that would have boosted it up a little bit. F for You, which featured on FIFA 14.
Cool.
Help Me Lose My Mind. Have a guess what country this got number 1 in. It's a European country.
Germany. Russia.
Yeah, Ukraine.
Croatia.
Romania.
Ah.
I don't think it got number 1 anywhere else, but Romania.
That's really weird.
And Voices was the last single.
True.
Cool. Album debuted at number 1 in the UK, selling 44,000 copies in the first week. This is in the UK alone.
Jesus.
Wow.
Peaked at number 36 on the US Billboard charts, number 5 in Australia, and number 1 on the US dance albums.
Good run.
Very good run. It was nominated for the 2013 Mercury Prize, which, if you don't know what that is, it's just the best British or UK album of the year.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't win. You want to have a guess? More trivia. Who won that year, 2013? British artist.
Adele?
Yeah, surely.
Nah, Harold didn't come out 2013, I don't think.
No.
Sam Smith.
Who was it?
Fucking James Blake.
Oh, shoot.
Right.
Yeah, sick.
I would not have got that.
Yeah, I don't know any of his earlier stuff.
James Blake.
Well, 2013, I don't think that's earlier. Isn't his earlier stuff? You're beautiful.
No, it's James Blunt,
that's
boys. Come
James
on.
Blake is retrograde. Very cool musician.
Shit.
I was wondering why.
James Blunt.
James
Oh
Blunt.
my god.
That's a very
3 letters
that's a big
different.
mistake. James Blake is like
Please.
the king of smooth, the coolest guy.
Yeah.
Dear God, I am. Edit that out.
Nah, keep it. That's a big.
Yeah, just all right. Last thing about Settle. Most listened to city in the world on Spotify, or something to Settle for disclosure, is Sydney at the moment.
Really?
Oh, cool.
355,000 monthly listeners at the moment in Sydney.
There you go.
But I've noticed with Sydney, they include like Newcastle and like everywhere else around it, I'm pretty sure. Because when you go and look at that, it's just always Sydney. And then there'll be like one person from Newcastle. It's like, Or not even Newcastle, just like a random suburb.
Yeah. I feel like...
I'm sure it does that for all the surrounding Sydney.
One thing we've been learning, this seems to happen every week, that everything is bigger in Australia. Things are always... We must just be very big fans of music.
Music consumers.
Just like, everything. Everywhere always goes like gold or platinum in Australia first, and then...
Well, definitely every artist that we've covered pretty much.
Yeah, almost all of them. It's like Two-Door and stuff. They were, massive.
Two-Door, Phoenix,
Crazy.
We love it.
I do love it.
Can't get enough. All right, let's move on. Daft Punk, Discovery. French electronic music duo formed in Paris in 1993 by, here we go, Guy-Manuel Demon Christo. Brad, can you put some like French edits on that? I don't know what a French edit is, but you'll figure it out.
A baguette. A baguette.
Some violins or something in the background. Sound like you're in Paris.
We'll see what I can do.
And I'm just going to pronounce this how it's spelled. I don't know. Thomas Bangalter. It's definitely not how it is in French. But the two, we said this a couple of weeks ago, but who did they used to play in a band with? Do you remember?
The guitarist from Phoenix.
That is correct. Laurent Bronkowitz. They played in a band called Darwin with him. They disbanded and then they formed Daft Punk because apparently one of their reviews for Darwin was some journalists said they just sound like some sort of daft punky kind of band.
Yeah.
And they were like, rightio.
Perfect.
Take that.
Done.
Thank you.
They actually they performed with Phoenix, like I think it must have been Phoenix's last album, and they were playing in, I think it was France as well, which is crazy. And then Daft Punk just appeared and were playing. Imagine that. Imagine Daft Punk surprise appearance at a show. Would be the craziest
what did they
thing.
play? Did they just come on stage and play a Phoenix
They
song?
did, yeah. Well, there was a Phoenix. I think it was one of their big ones. It was like 1901 or something, and they came up and like remixed it, and they like jammed over a remix of the song that they were playing.
That's awesome.
It was pretty sick.
Definitely have to look that up.
It's not a very good quality video, the one that's up, because it wasn't professional.
Was it a Nokia filmed camera in the crowd?
Any Daft Punk footage, if you try to find it, it's like impossible.
It's all 144p.
Yeah, so it's kind of a battle, but it's still, I think it adds to the mystery of Daft Punk.
Mystique.
Yeah. The legacy.
Cool. So this album, Discovery, was their second studio album. It was released on the 26th of February 2001 by Virgin Records. Now, Phoenix's album was released on Virgin 2 Records. So I don't know why. Why did they make a second one? I do not know why. Anyway,
understand.
but Virgin 1, they're huge. They've released like Spice Girls, Gorillaz, Rolling Stones, Smashing Pumpkins,
everyone,
heaps of other huge artists. The album was recorded at their home studio in Paris between 1998 and 2000. Do you see what they call their studio?
No.
No.
The Daft House. That's it.
On point.
Yeah.
On brand. Very nice.
For sure. Produced by themselves, and there was very few collaborations on this album. Yeah. So the guy who sings One More Time and Too Long, it's called Romanthony, with a DJ and a singer. Todd Edwards he's a house and garage producer from Jersey in America. He co-produced and did the vocals on Face to Face. And a Chicago house producer called DJ Sneak. Sneak, it's an awesome name. Wrote the lyrics to Digital Love. I'm not sure if he sung them as well. I didn't know that down, but
it's a pretty big difference between the two albums. Disclosure's album's pretty feature heavy, but it definitely adds to it. Not that that's a bad thing, but that's like the shining. I think that's the shining glory of they just pick their samples. Their all the collaborations and all the hooks and stuff are really good on Disclosure album. But Daft Punk is like the opposite. It's all just the music.
Yeah. Well, if Disclosure didn't have the features and the vocals at all, it'd be very bit bland in some parts and very similar. Whereas Daft Punk is so just crazy instrumentals.
It's epic.
I was going to bring up. Remember what we said when the Phoenix we were talking about Phoenix and how they're in France. Apparently, at least 40% of what radio plays has to be in French. Do you reckon Daft Punk still got played, even though like their lyrics, when they have lyrics, are in English? Do you reckon they would have like sneaked into like the 40% anyway with their instrumentals?
Surely.
Because it's not like they wouldn't get played. They'd be in this other 60%. But like apparently Phoenix like copped a bit of hate for not singing in English. Do you reckon Daft Punk copped hate for that?
I wouldn't think so.
I feel like they got so big so pretty quickly as well. They were just like instantly the big electronic act, it seems. So France was probably just like, we love them. They're gods.
Yeah, exactly.
Because would they be the biggest French act, would you think? They'd have to be.
Oh, definitely the first that come to my mind.
As far as on a worldwide scale, they'd have to be.
Who else we talking then?
Yeah, like
know.
They'd be the only
Phoenix.
one that have won like a Grammy. Like they won best album at the Grammys.
Phoenix won a Grammy.
Phoenix won a Grammy. Yeah,
that's true.
But the Phoenix and Daft Punk, off the top of my head, they're the two that come to mind.
But we are.
Yeah, I can't.
Dumb Australians.
Yeah.
We probably.
Yeah.
But
I'm sure there's other great stuff.
There would be others, but that's all I can think of.
If anyone listening is screaming right now, please just hit us up and tell us who another big French artist is.
Please.
Enlighten us.
I'm waiting for some more French acts.
Dive into that realm.
Yes, please.
Yeah,
cool.
Yeah.
6 singles as well for this album. One More Time, an honest classic. It was the only one that was released before the album dropped. Number 61 in the US and first on like heaps of countries' dance charts. Pitchfork gave it its 5th best song of the 2000s. Rolling Stone magazine gave it their 307th best song of all time.
Nice.
Other singles were Aerodynamic, Digital Love, Harder, Better, Faster, Stronger, which this song won a Grammy in 2007, but it was for their live recording of it. You know, they're like Alive 2007. Yeah. So that won a Grammy. And then for Best Dance Recording. And then Face to Face and Something About Us were the other singles.
Cool.
Nice.
Yeah. It peaked at number 23 on the US Billboard charts, 7 on the ARIAs, 2nd in France and the UK. At the time, it was a French-Canadian artist called Garou. I don't know. French-Canadian, so it was Canadian, but, you know, from, like, Montreal or in Quebec. Had the top spot. Now, I got some trivia for you.
Yeah.
Let's hear it.
Okay. Only one American artist, I think. Only one American artist held the top album in France all year in 2001. Like, so in the 52 weeks, there was only one American artist who cracked it for 1 week. Who was it?
2001.
2001. Artist. So not like a band or anything.
Yeah, it's an artist. It's an individual.
Is it like... would it be like Jay-Z?
No.
No? Is it
No.
Alicia Keys?
No.
Yeah, I was going to say,
Justin Timberlake?
Mariah Carey or something like that.
Is it
Nah.
Justin Timberlake?
Michael Jackson.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah.
True.
The King of Pop.
The King of
Obviously.
Pop.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
There you go.
There was a few. There was only like a handful that weren't French, actually, but there was like someone from Iceland. There was a couple from UK. Jamiroquai.
Great.
Cool.
Nice.
They cracked it in 2001, but Daft Punk didn't. I was like, wow. Crazy.
Weird.
Yeah, it was kind of panned when it first came out, apparently. The Pitchfork gave it, like a 6-point
Discovery or homework?
discovery.
Really?
Yeah. It wasn't like an immediate classic. And it took, like, especially in America, I believe. It did take a few years for people to think it's like a masterpiece.
I feel like that's always the case with like the best albums now.
Yeah.
You're like,
Divisive.
that at the time they were just a bit too ahead of their time and no one gets it.
Yeah.
And then later on, once everything's been influenced by it, everyone gets it.
Precisely.
Yeah.
Well said.
Sick. Have you heard the story of what Daft Punk said as why they started wearing robot costumes?
I've heard, I think I have, but you can
Isn't it
remind
like
me.
they die or something and they're going back as robots?
So in the lead up to this album, So I'm not sure if they wore them before this album. Do you know if they did?
No, they didn't.
Yeah,
No.
okay. So lead up to
Yeah.
this album, they told the press they were working in their home studio at 9 a.m. on the 9th of September 1999 when their sampler exploded and they had to undergo reconstructive surgery. And when they regained their consciousness, they realized they had become robots.
Amazing.
That's so
And then,
good.
yeah, they've worn those costumes ever since.
They've gone all out.
So sick.
That's so.
Did you guys watch the the movie?
No,
Came
I
out,
didn't.
Like a
I
couple
didn't.
years later, the story of the Secret Star system.
Is that the
Interstellar 5555.
anime?
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't watched it. I've just seen the music videos that feature.
Yeah,
it.
same. I've never seen the thing from start to finish, but there's like a Grammy sort of scene, and they make their own cameo in the movie, and they like lose, like they get nominated for some award, and they're just sitting in the crowd with their helmets on, and they can't, and they don't even win, but they're just sitting there like clapping the blue anime guys. So sick.
That's
They're
awesome.
geniuses.
Me and Brad, actually a couple weeks ago, we were watching on YouTube. Do you remember when Tidal became a thing, Will? And Jay-Z was really
Like
pushing
the streaming service.
it. Yeah. There was an ad for it. And I don't know why. They kind of made it out. It sounds like in the ad, it sounds like they're doing something for charity the whole time. They're just like, it was time for someone to step up. And like, they just have all these, like every celebrity there. And then Daft Punk are just there in their helmets and everything, just like, they've got like glasses of champagne. Not that they can drink it or anything. Just standing around with everyone, just like pretending to talk. It's one of them.
It's like a big board meeting.
And
They're
they're
just sitting there with their arms crossed, like not talking.
What's
or
the point of
anything.
even inviting them? They can't do anything.
It's such a power move.
It's so funny
great.
and nice.
Do you reckon that was actually them? Or do you reckon they just hired actors and gave Daft Punk heaps of money?
That's the thing,
I've
yeah,
got a
who knows?
theory they have, and you'll find out more about it in the Two Truths and a Lie today, but
Ooh.
they'd have to for some of their media appearances that they've done. I think it gets
Surely.
pretty weird. But anyway, moving on.
Cool. Yeah, we won't say. Last thing I little had, everyone knows this. Harder, Better, Faster, Stronger is obviously used as in the Kanye West song Stronger.
Great track.
I hope everyone knows that anyway.
Everyone knew.
Kanye West didn't write that. Well, it's a banging song. Such a good song.
Yeah.
Cool. Should we talk about
The elements.
Yes, please.
who wants to kick it off with a hot take? Go.
For which album?
Whatever one you want.
Everyone, let's hear it, Adam.
Whoa.
Hear a take.
Oh,
Yeah, it's on you now,
okay,
Adam.
thanks, fellas. So as I said before, with Disclosure, it definitely took me a little bit to get into. If we're talking about production now.
Whatever you want.
It's definitely grown on me. As you said before, Will, it is kind of like, I think I'm just not used to listening to a song because it is very repetitive by nature, I guess, like electronic music is. So it took a little bit for me to get into that and sort of understand it. But once I did, the production on it is just, there's so many little things, so many like little sounds, like there's that weird like whippy noise that's like it's in
what track?
It's in Latch a lot, but it comes up it comes out a lot. I thought that was really cool. There's like a lot of like audio motifs, I guess I would call them, that just come up again and again, which I really like. I thought that was cool.
I think it's a really well crafted sound.
Yeah.
And it's a debut album as well, so it makes it really impressive. Like I don't know, you can just tell immediately that it's Disclosure, even if you like hadn't heard it before.
Yeah.
And then you listen to the whole album and it just
That's what I like to
runs.
hear.
Everything's the same. Like there's nothing too crazy. Like everything runs really well, which is really cool. I like, and the hats and like the synths and the snare. Like there's so many. Like it's just a hats and snare everywhere.
Yeah.
Which I did really get annoyed of, but the sound of them I didn't. It sounded really crisp and dope.
I think that's why Disclosure is so good. They're so like meticulous at like the groove of their tracks.
Yeah.
And like even though they all have the same formula, it's the way that they do it in like just the little quirks in between each track.
Yeah.
But in the end do the same thing but just in a different way.
Yeah, I think that was what I had to, once I realized that. But yeah, as you said before, Will, like when I first listened, a lot of the songs, like, because there's some really long tracks on this album. Like, there's some 6-minute songs, and you get through it, and you're like, it's kind of just been the same thing for the last 3 minutes. Like, I'm struggling. But then after a while, after I'd like had a few initial listens, and like laid down with my headies on and like properly listened to it, and you hear those little differences and things coming in, like the layering, then I started to appreciate it a lot more.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I appreciate the sound. I think if I'm to get around this album, I need way more time with it because, like, as you just said, Adam, the songs are long and really similar. So it just took a bit out of me listening to it. The top half but are like banging 4-minute tracks, and then, like, I'm not saying I hate 6-minute songs because that's a lie. 6-minute songs are dope usually, and they're good songs. It's just, you know, back to back to back to back took a bit out of me with the constant snare and hats just running the whole album.
Yeah.
Running the show. Whereas, like, when you look at Discovery, there's so many different things going on in each song. No song's the same.
Well, yeah.
It's so much more than just a dance record.
Oh, it's a rock album. Like, borderline, it's a rock album.
When I as I do every episode, Genius, please give me some money because I'm just absolutely pumping you right now. I did Disclosure. Obviously, has a lot of lyrics and stuff, so that was interesting. And then when I went to go through Daft Punk's one, there's like 2 songs that have lyrics on them, so it would just come up and say, this song's an instrumental. And then I would think to myself, I'd be like, what? No, there's definitely something, like, there has to be, because I love this song. Like, Aerodynamic has no words at all. And I was just like, I just didn't even notice, because they're so interesting anyway. They're just so good at their, like, it's all repetitious, but it's also the layering is just genius. And they also really good at putting in sections that you wouldn't really think are going to come, like just unexpected sections.
The guitar solo in Aerodynamic.
Yeah, it's just kind of out of nowhere.
That's a great example.
Yeah, and it's beautiful. I love it. Same with Digital Love. There's just like so many different sections.
That Digital Love is just like a amazing song.
Hey, that's the first song coming on at my wedding.
Yeah, oh god, that's definitely my favorite of the album. I think
it's just like crazy good. Like, it's not. I actually did read with their first album. Apparently, they wanted to show rock kids that electronic music was cool, and then this album was they wanted to show electronic kids that rock music's really cool.
Yeah,
and it's just like this album's. It's just like a rock album with some really good electronic like hooks.
Yeah, I think I read somewhere that a lot of their inspirations were just like those big bands from like the 70s and 80s. So just like they're overindulgent but sick, and you definitely hear that probably more on Human After All, which is their least liked album. But
definitely the most panned.
So, definitely further explores those rock elements, I guess.
Yeah,
I love how like crusty it is at some points. Like, Aerodynamic's so crusty in the sound. It's so sharp, but it's like a nice piercing.
It's so like dramatic as well. After you can hear like parallels with like ABBA, I reckon.
Yeah,
like the way they just it's like dancey but galactic.
It's like
and
operatic. It's almost operatic,
like,
I would say. Like
it's
like so confident in just really going all out, and you don't feel like they've held anything back at all. Like, you know, when you hear a lot of albums and they've obviously gone in to be produced and they've kind of been dumbed down so that they're radio friendly, and you can see like easy structures, I guess. But this is like at parts it's super unexpected, and very confident.
No idea is too crazy.
No, they just go all out. Like short circuit sort of comes out of
that's like the Fortnite song of that main dance.
Veritas Quo, is that how you say it? Veritas Quo?
Yeah, I don't know.
That song's like really nice, but it's pretty like it's almost like the lead up to Short Circuit, and then Short Circuit's just like super different to everything else on the album.
There's so much Mario Kart going on the Discovery album.
Yeah,
like that is like a Mario Kart song, and then so is like Superheroes, and there's so many just songs that sound like they could fit it's a Mario Kart soundtrack pretty much.
Yeah. In Superheroes, what do you guys think the sample says?
I looked it up, so I know. But I thought it's before I looked it up. I thought it said Neanderthals.
What is it again? It's like something.
Something's in the air.
Something's
isn't
in
it?
the air. Yeah.
Yeah.
You cannot hear something.
Neanderthals.
I thought it was just like
Not it.
parts of words, so it was just like nothing, like flume sort of.
Yeah. It's actually something in the air.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it does not sound like something in there.
I don't know
sounds
how
like
it
organs
is.
or
Something
organs.
in the air.
It's just the way they've
something-
sidechained it. You just can't even hear the start of that word.
Yeah.
It's
I like
crazy.
saying Neanderthals better.
It doesn't
Yeah.
sound like that at all.
That's
fine, though.
Neanderthals.
Yeah, but that speaks to their sampling. I think they're like in the S tier of sampling, up there with like Fatboy Slim, Chemical Brothers,
for
and
sure.
like, obviously the
Avalanches,
Avalanches as
yeah.
well. Yeah, like the way they can just completely bend it around to make like One More Time is there is few tracks that sit there with One More Time, in my opinion. It's like,
Tonight.
it's like Feel Good Inc. One More Time. Electric Feel by MGMT, and there's like not much else, I reckon.
I
What's up
actually put Digital Love above One More Time.
I
I like
feel that.
going back to it. Maybe it could be because I've heard One More Time so many times, like through my life, because it was such a big track. That could be it, but yeah, I'm more likely to go back to Digital Love or Aerodynamic.
Yeah.
I find.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I feel you.
I am too.
I
am too. Like obviously chilling at home. I'm not going to put on one more time. But in terms of the biggest song, it's just one more time.
Oh, yeah.
Like it's just a classic, like an actual
classic.
honest classic.
I feel like
you go, Brad.
Oh yeah. Well, going back to Settle, I feel like White Noise is like also up there in that like classic region.
Yeah.
Like you were in UK around this time, weren't you, Adam?
Yeah, I was. I didn't want to bring it up because it's kind of lame, but when I was listening to this whole album, I was very nostalgic just because, like, when this album came out, I guess, everyone tried to copy it as well. So whenever we went out, like, to a pub or to a club or something, everything sounded like it was either Disclosure or sounded like exactly the same as Disclosure. So, yeah, there was a lot of memories from this album, even though I've never actually listened to it all the way through. But, yeah, it's awesome. Like, the first 4 tracks or 5 tracks.
Yeah.
It's like banger after banger after banger.
Yeah.
Yeah. It kind of moves between two different types of tracks. There's like the pop house tracks, and then there's the like proper festival.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
It's a tale of
progressing
two
the
halves.
same idea. Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
the
but then
first 6 and
my
then
one gripe is that there's a couple tracks that kind of sit in the middle. Like Defeated No More in January. They're like kind of like 5.5 minute songs.
Yeah.
Kind of keep that same like pop house like structures and stuff. And I think they're the only downfalls of the album
I was going to say...
because they don't progress their idea enough, because they are like, they're not pop songs obviously because they go for so long.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's my one gripe.
I found that one, and there were a few of the tracks that were the straightforward, just like house tracks, like Stimulation. I didn't find all that stimulating.
I'm not gonna lie. No,
that track's crazy.
Okay. So when I first time I listened to the album, the first 4 or 5 songs, I was like, hell yeah, I know all these tracks and they rule. These songs rule. Stimulation came on, I was like, ugh. Who did the dookie in the album?
I don't mind. Like, I don't mind it. I see where it's coming from, but I might like that when it's on at Le Club, but just the sitting and listening to it, I skip it.
Okay.
After I don't even bother anymore. But in saying that, as soon as it goes into Voices and Second Chance, those are my actually 2 of my favorites of the whole album.
Yeah.
I think
Speaking of the club, I think these 2 albums, if I'm at the club and I'm only allowed 2 albums for the rest of my life, I want these 2.
Gotta be, yeah.
Like The Perfect House, and then this huge Daft Punk bangers as well.
Space opera.
Pure ecstasy, pure happiness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
From
it's
Discovery.
just so nice.
Yeah.
Do you got any more to add on that? I was going to say the flow of both albums is I don't think you can really... It's just top tier, I reckon.
The intro to When a Fire Starts to Burn, when it has that little pause and what he's saying, and then goes, when a fire, and it goes straight in.
Just straight into the
such
kick
a
in the
nice
clap.
little. Yeah, I love that.
It's the biggest party starter.
yeah.
Yeah.
You can't help but smile
Oh,
when just
yeah.
that kick and snare comes in. You're just like, oh shit, you already know what's coming.
Yeah. And like
Great.
I said, Voices and Second Chance are my favorite songs, but Latch, Sam Smith is crazy. He's such a good
Yeah.
singer.
It is. It's weird because like you hear Latch and then you hear his solo stuff and it's a lot more chill and like he shows off how well he can sing. But then Latch is just like a straight, just like moving through, driving.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's true.
but some of the
He lends his
vocal
voice
lines,
so well to that type. Yeah.
some of the vocal lines that are like in the background when he's just like going off, it's crazy. He's got the most amazing voice. I don't think I've ever really appreciated it before this song and listening to this properly. It's crazy.
Yeah.
He's a man.
Cool. Should we get into the segments?
Sure.
Yeah, let's go.
All right, let's do it. Let's get into
Get inked.
Get Inked. We're going to make some tattoo ideas with some lyrics or something to do about the albums. I'll go first this week. So, disclosure, I'm going from Latch, the song we just spoke about. So, the pre-chorus, I think this is the pre-chorus. Okay, so the lyrics are, I feel we're close enough. I want to lock in your love. I think we're close enough. Could I lock in your love, baby?
Nice.
Do you know where this is going? Okay, so it's it's a setup of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, the Australian version. So we got Eddie Maguire on one seat. On one seat, and he's asking the questions. He's asking the questions, and the contestant is Austin Powers because he's saying, "Could I lock in your love, baby?"
Oh. This is like a mural. This is really tough. This belongs on a brick wall somewhere.
Melbourne,
I like it though.
Streets of
That's
Melbourne.
very creative.
Could I lock in your love, baby?
see
And
it.
then Daft Punk from Superheroes, as we said before, Something's in the Air. This is just pretty much taken from Brad a couple of weeks ago. It says Something's in the Air, I think 74 times in the song. So this tattoo will just cover the human body. It'll just say Something's in the Air,
I like
the
it.
entire body.
That's
pretty
crazy.
good.
That would hurt.
That was actually, I was going to say that exact thing for my tattoo for Daft Punk, but I do have another one.
What is
cute.
it?
My
What are
other
your-
Daft Punk one, it's actually, I think I might get it, but it's not, it's kind of cheating because it's not actually from this album. But I don't know if you guys have seen the Alive 2007 Daft Punk, like the cover. It's got like a pyramid with like the top of it's like coming off.
Yeah.
And it's like in another pyramid with all these grids. I think I actually want to get that on my leg.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
That'd be sick.
for real.
Yeah, the grid work.
Yeah, really like that one. And then for disclosure, I just had because they bring up the fire motif a lot in the second song, and they also bring it up in Defeated No More, I think, and a couple others. It just keeps coming up, and so I just had like the two faces that they use in all their just them in some flames, covered with flames.
sick.
Yeah, both
They're nice.
might get both of them.
Yeah.
One leg
cool.
each.
I do like the visual idea for Disclosure. Those like the face that they make.
Yeah, and they
still use
they
that
do it in
today.
everything. Yeah, that's
Oh,
why I
yeah,
was
yeah,
like,
cool, yeah. That's sick.
kind of their thing.
Yeah, that's their
Well, they're
shit.
robot heads, basically.
Yeah, kind of.
Pretty sick.
That's their like online presence.
Mm.
Rightio. My get inked for Daft Punk. It was just the harder, better, faster, stronger. It's just like the two Daft Punk, the two robots in the gym, like doing some bench, and he's one spotting him, and the other one's just like about to go for a set.
That's so good.
Yeah.
Oh,
that
that's
one.
the best one yet.
That is so nice.
That is by far the best
I
one.
reckon you've got to
I'm
get
gonna
that.
see it, and he's just like, oh, I might have to get that.
Yeah, I reckon.
Wait, we're
you
going to
my
get someone
other
to draw that
one
up.
for-
That's hilarious.
Yeah, I might have to. I'm not sure. That might be online somewhere. I have to look it up. Oh, but for disclosure, in You and Me, it's and you stash my heart somewhere in the dark. Keep it safe. I know you will. On one side is like a safe of your arm, and then on the other side is the heart. So it's like you got to get through the safe to get to the heart on the other side of the arm. That's pretty tragic. Sorry,
Pretty
guys.
nice.
It's creative, though.
Good.
Yeah, I don't know.
All right.
Let's just,
Not
who
bad.
cares? Let's just think about how good that Daft Punk one was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So funny. In the tattoo, do they only have the helmets? So they have like a singlet, shorts, and joggers on as
Yeah,
well?
no, they're in like regular gym attire. but
That's
they have
hilarious.
The Daft Punk helmets on.
That's so good.
And they're like not even that big. They're like kind of struggling.
That's really funny. We should get someone to draw that.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, let's do
Fattest riff.
fattest riff. Favorite parts of the album. Parts that go the hardest. Brad, you can start.
Mine was when a fire starts to burn intro, like Adam said. Just when the
Good.
kick and snare come in, you already know what's coming next.
Yeah.
It's a classic. And like the intro kind of builds up to it, and you see that little gap. And what happens is, and then kick and snare. It's crazy. Genius. And I had the Superheroes intro for Daft Punk.
And has to be.
Yeah. Just the boom, 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 boom. It's crazy.
I actually had the entirety of Superheroes for my fattest riff. It just goes so hard. It's just the thump and kick. Thump and thump, thump.
Yeah, it feels every kick in this album is like
Oh,
a punch to the
it's
the
so good.
rib cage.
Yeah, that's my favorite
I
part
don't
of the
know how
album
they
is the
did it.
kick for sure.
Yeah.
And like got that Rainbow Road type melody over it.
Yeah.
And then
yeah.
in Disclosure, I think it's before the second chorus in White Noise, where it like it has like the synth melody and then it has all like the atmospheric sound behind it
Yeah.
with like the delayed kind of kick just
Yeah.
before it goes in the next chorus. It's pretty dope. I like that part.
Yeah, nice.
Nice. Mine for Disclosure. I really like I think it's the chorus in Voices. When it comes in, it's just a really good.
Yeah. The
nice
vocal melody on
vocal.
that is crazy.
Yeah, and so I love that. Just because it goes pretty hard. But also the pre-chorus for You and Me. I really like that as well.
Yeah.
Uh,
Hey, the synth in that, Adam,
Yeah. Oh.
the
so
synth in
nice.
that is from the Roland Gaia.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's what made me buy it. Disclosure's like, I watched one of their live
True.
setups.
Yeah.
And the same with the Simpson latch as well. That's that's
Ah.
a preset on the Roland Gaia.
I've actually got that in my notes, and I love the synth on
Yeah.
both of those. There you go.
That's why I got it in the first place.
Yeah.
And like, haven't been utilized like that good since.
the synth
So-
in the bridge in Latch. Did you say?
in like the pre-chorus and the
Yeah,
chorus.
yeah.
The pre-chorus
So
mostly.
nice. And for Daft Punk, fattest riff I just had when the solo comes in at Digital Love,
Yeah.
just because obvious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so good.
So hard.
It goes so hard.
Sick.
Yeah.
All right.
You.
What songs we are given
The ad.
to? Given the ad, 2 songs, 1 from each album. Going in the Spotify playlist, you can follow it at the Record Royale ads. It's got all of our favorite songs from the albums we've covered so far. It's looking pretty good in there, I must say.
Mm-hmm.
I am chucking in for Disclosure F for You.
Okay.
I think I thought the vocal melody was. I actually didn't like it at first, and then I was like, oh yeah, okay,
Yeah.
I'm vibing this. I've been infected with the restless.
Yeah,
I
it
thought
is
that was
nice.
pretty dope, actually. And then for Daft Punk, I've gone the trifecta for Daft Punk. Every segment, Superheroes. It's just so good.
Yeah.
Just
It
the
is.
punching, thumping, driving kick.
Yeah.
Just hits me.
Nice.
The
It's a
trifecta.
good track.
I had
Alright.
superheroes as well, but
Oof.
I'll happily stick in Digital Love
Okay.
Yeah, cool.
for a Daft Punk one. And for Disclosure, I had, I think I had Voices again, just 'cause I really like
Nice.
that track.
Lovely. Yeah, probably my favorites in terms of like the pop house tracks would definitely be Voices. But I might choose one of the deeper cuts, one of the housey ones, just to get rid of like a pop sort of thing in the playlist, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
I'll do Grab Her
Yeah,
because
great
the Meldos is wild and so wonky.
track.
It's like this it's like someone climbing up and then climbing back down. It's crazy. And it just keeps going. I love it.
What do you got
And
for?
I'll do Voyager.
Yeah,
Cool. Yeah, I love that song.
Yeah.
same.
That kind of sounds a bit more homework-esque,
Yeah,
which I really like. It's pretty straightforward. Another club classic, in my opinion. So yeah, I'll
Very
choose
nice.
them two.
Yeah, nice. I love Voyager. That song's really
Yeah.
cool. Sick. All right. You know what we're up to now? 2 truths and a lie. Adam, it is your turn this week.
all right.
3 statements. 2 are true. 1 is a lie.
Right. So, when I was doing my research, I was looking into just like Daft Punk, like appearances, and they've done quite a few advertisements in their time. Some of them are really weird. So I'm just going to read out a few. And 2 of these are true, 1 of these is a lie. So the first one, Daft Punk once featured in an ad for Adidas, which is set in Star Wars, and Snoop Dogg, David Beckham, and Oasis are in it. And they also, Snoop Dogg uses a lightsaber and kills heaps of people. The next one is Daft Punk.
That's complex.
Yeah, it is very, I'm not sure why it happened. Daft Punk once featured in an advertisement with Pharrell Williams for Beats by Dre, or Daft Punk once featured in an ad for Gap clothing.
Wait,
what is Gap clothing?
What?
It's like Abercrombie and Finch. It's just like an American clothing brand.
Okay.
So the Gap clothing was 3, Pharrell was 2, Adidas 1.
Yeah.
Okay, we got to go back to number 1.
Yeah.
So an Adidas ad set in Star Wars with Daft Punk, Snoop Dogg. Who else was in it?
David Beckham and Oasis.
That is just like crazy. Was this a British ad or an American ad?
I assume it's British, I think, because it also has a lot of football players in it that I didn't recognise, but I assume are famous.
This is pretty convincing, Adam.
And
like this, you kind of.
Let me just say, if this ends up being the lie because like David Beckham actually wasn't in it, I'm gonna be angry.
No. There's no trickery like that.
All right, cool. What year was
I think we can
ad?
knock out the second one. Second one's true because all of the random access memory stuff and how they've collabed a lot. So I'm pretty sold on that.
That's what
one
I was
being
thinking.
real.
Yeah.
And the third one for the Gap. I need some more info on that one.
What
Adam.
year was
Come
number
on.
1 Adidas though?
I'm not actually
Early
sure.
2000?
Nah, it was like probably after Random Access Memories, I think. Maybe.
What?
Yeah.
And
It was-
Oasis were in it.
Oh no,
That's
no,
a
no!
lie.
It can't have been.
Cracked him.
No,
I think we got
it.
him.
It looks pretty good. So, but it might be early 2000s then.
Got
It
him.
might be like 2000.
No, I'm going with that because Oasis were way broken up. I'm locking in Oasis number 1.
Okay.
That's the lie.
All right.
Yeah.
Brad, what are
Good
you
work,
doing?
Adam. Yeah, good work, Will. You got him. I'm
All
saying
right.
that as well.
Okay.
Adam?
You're both wrong.
Fuck.
Oh.
So that one does exist. I just obviously got the year mixed up.
Right.
So they were in that ad for some reason. I'm not sure why it exists. And they also were in an ad for Gap clothing with Juliette Lewis. And
So Pharrell was a lie.
we definitely need to post that because it is one of the weirdest things I've ever seen. It's just like them dancing with Juliette Lewis, and they're kind of a little bit fat in it.
So you don't reckon it's them?
No, yeah, I definitely, I don't think it is them. That's what I was talking about earlier. And it's really like dad dancing.
I'm pretty
And then
sure I read
and
that for
then
the
they do
music
the
video.
robot
Pretty
as
sure
well.
I read that for the music video for Stronger by Kanye, or like something to do with Kanye West, that they did get actors for Daft Punk.
Yeah.
And the first time they actually did anything together was at the Grammys or the Emmys. No, not the Emmys, the Grammys.
Yeah. I don't think it's them because it's so cringy. It's like one of the most early 2000s things I've ever seen. And then, yeah, they weren't in an ad with Pharrell Williams. So
you played us then.
I thought you guys would definitely believe that one.
We bit on that one.
Yeah.
For sure.
Well, we
Suckers.
cancelled that out straight away.
Yeah, we took the bait.
Yeah, you sure did.
Damn.
You win
But
again,
What,
Adam.
what year did Oasis break up?
I don't know. It must be. I think it's like because I was just trying to think of like when would they have been relevant? Because it's pretty well made, so I don't think it would be like too early 2000s. But yeah, it must be. It might be like 2007 when they did the Alive tour or something.
Oh, they only broke up.
Possibly.
Wait, they only officially broke up in 2009.
Yeah, so it might have been 2007. Could have been.
Yeah, true. I thought it was way earlier than that. There you go.
Was David Beckham still in England then? Or was he in LA Galaxy by then?
He might have been LA. It might have been made in
Yeah.
LA. Probably would have made more sense to get Snoop Dogg there as well. But Snoop Dogg in it like kills a few aliens with a lightsaber.
I'm going to need to see
and
that footage.
It's so funny.
Definitely not going to have to get that up.
Yeah, I think you should post that and the Gap ad because they're both
And the
hilarious.
title ad as well.
Yeah.
The title one's
their public
hilarious.
appearances are so good. Anyway,
love
Rightio.
it.
Cool. That was a good one, Adam. All right, let's get into it. Give us some numbers for these goddamn albums. Any values for these? Any measurements?
ooh,
I I had one for Daft Punk, but I can't remember it.
Should we do?
I'm stumped.
I'm also stumped. All right, let's do
Robots.
Robot
Crescendos.
Rocks.
Robot Rocks.
Crescendos.
Crescendo.
Or
Wait, is it
Human After
crescendos or
Alls,
crescendos?
Maybe.
I don't know. Crescendos, probably.
Yeah, let's do Human After Alls.
Yeah.
7 Human After Alls.
Yeah.
No,
What about
no.
Disclosure?
Fires that do, in fact, start to burn.
All right, let's do Disclosure first. What are you giving it? How many fires that do actually burn? Brad?
Alright, I'll go first. Yeah, you already know. No, I'm not giving it a 10. It's not a 10. It's a 9 for me. It was the same with Toxicity with this album. I forgot how much I was due for this album.
Yeah.
And I think from like start to finish, they show off their intelligence and precision in beat making. And I think the vocals and the features just take it to that next level. And
No, we'll do one at a time.
No, I was just going to say that I feel like this could have came out this year and could have sounded the same.
Yeah.
So, and I can't say that for Discovery because it does feel like a little bit dated, just in the way it's made. Not the actual songs, just like the recordings and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm gonna give it a 9.
Nice.
9 fires that burn.
All right.
It's a solid score.
I'm probably going to give it... I did really enjoy it, and I enjoyed it the more and more I listened to it, but probably not as much as Brad just because I'm not as used to electronic music. It's probably going to take me a little bit more just for those, just for stimulation and some of those more straight house tracks are just not as palatable for me because I'm not used to that sort of song, I guess. So I'm going to give it a 7 because I really liked it, but I wouldn't say it's like my favorite album. You know, yeah,
For sure.
In the genre. Sure.
yeah,
Okay. If I'm double parked at the club on Vodka Red Bulls, I don't think I'd want to hear another album besides Settle. But with that said, it doesn't make it an amazing album to me. I think the beats are too similar over the course of the album besides the top 5.
Yeah.
So for that, I'm giving it a 6. 6 fires that
fair enough.
potentially could, I don't know, maybe burn.
Would that be more of a problem that you have with just house music in general?
No, well, maybe. I don't know. Well, I don't know if I could listen to it. Well, maybe. If this is the best that house music has to offer, I don't know if I could listen to a full album. But it doesn't mean I don't like the music. I like listening to it. I like listening to the songs, if that makes sense. But not,
Okay, but as an
not
album,
14
yeah.
after... in a
Yeah,
row.
I back that actually. I'm the same.
That's my thing.
Yeah.
Like, I really like and appreciate and, respect how good the songs are made, how well the songs are made. But, yeah, an hour in a row, it's just, I can't listen to that type of album, I don't think.
Yeah.
But, yeah,
Cool.
so 6 for me. Brad, Discovery.
Yeah, all right. I'm going to give it a 9 as well. Because I don't think it's a 10, even though it's almost perfect. I do think that the DS Quo and Short Circuit just they're a little bit stuck in that era.
Yeah.
And what's that little interlude halfway through the album as well?
Oh, I really like that.
Oh, I forget what it's called. Night Vision.
Yeah,
That's
I thought that was sick.
Yeah, I just don't really care for it. But apart from that, I think this album is unforgettable. It's a must listen. And I do think, okay, hear me out. If aliens came to Earth and they were like, we're going to blow up your planet if you don't give us some good music to listen to, we'd give them Discovery. And they'd be
leave us
like,
alone.
no, they'd be like, oh, we know this because it's it's from another planet.
It is from another planet.
They'd be like, yous are cool. 'Cause we already know this. So
Cool.
yeah, I'm going to give it 9 humans after all.
I'm going to do the same. I'm going to give it 9 humans after all as well. Just because I really enjoy it, and I thought it was so, I actually enjoy all of it, but after giving Phoenix a 10, and there's just more variety, and I think there's more songwriting that went on in that album, and if I'm pitting that, that's my sort of, the way of my thinking. I'm going to give it a 9, just because, yeah, it's really good and amazing for its time, and enjoyable, but I don't think it's perfect either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Three Amigos.
William?
I'm also going with the 9.
Nice.
Pretty much exactly what you said. It's just like there's just so many classics in here that put me in a damn good mood. But yeah, there's like I think there's one or two many songs. If they cut out a couple of songs, it would be a 10.
Yeah, for sure.
Like what you said about the interlude. I like this song, but I never care for interludes. It doesn't matter what genre. I never care for them. Piss them off to me. I don't think they're necessary.
Except for Phoenix and their Love Is Like a Sunset.
Could you call that an interlude though? That's
I think you can.
it's a 5-minute track.
It's a change of pace to the.
Just because it's an instrumental doesn't mean it's an interlude.
That's true. What does interlude mean?
I don't know. Fucking the middle part.
Will, no swearing.
Inter. Well, inter means. Well, intermission means. It's got to mean something like that. Inter.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I wish I googled that. Someone Google it for me. Let me know. Cool. Well, if you're good at maths, you know who won this week. Fairly convincingly, actually. 27 to Daft Punk Discovery. Settle gets 22 fires that potentially may burn out of 30. Discovery by Daft Punk gets the dub.
Nice.
Very nice.
Well deserved.
Yeah, I mean, we went into this like not knowing who to put up against Discovery. So, but it gave it a decent run for its money, I suppose, like in the grand scheme of things. I couldn't think
That's
of any other albums that would.
Yeah, exactly.
What's the plan for next week?
The plan for next week. Oh man, I've been looking forward to this. I'm just gonna come out and say I've been looking forward to next week on the Record Royale calendar for a while. So, not only are we doing 2 pop punk classics, Panic at the Disco, A Fever You Can't Sweat Out, versus Fall Out Boys, From Under the Cork Tree. Oh damn! Seriously.
Yes.
Oh, I'm actually sweating.
Yes.
Not only are we doing those 2 albums, but our favourite boys, our favourite band in Australia, the boys from Jacob the Rock Band, are going to be joining us to talk about Fall Out Boy and Panic at the Disco.
Goodness me.
Oh
It's a dream
boy.
come true.
Match made in heaven.
This is literally going to be my favourite week of the year. This is also, fun fact, the first 2 albums that I actually have on vinyl.
No.
Yeah.
I've got both of these bad boys. So it's going to be pretty
Good on you,
fun. Brad, have you listened to Panic's album much?
I only know the big tracks.
What about Fall Out
too.
Boy?
Oh yeah, I know that album quite well. It's definitely not my most listened to Fall Out Boy album.
Neither, but it's like a classic.
I'm pretty sure I'm gonna be convinced it's their best work as well.
I went back to it in later years after the Jacob Boys basically said our last EP sounded like this album, and I went back and listened to it, and it's definitely my favorite Fall Out Boy album now.
Yeah, I've been
Listening
listening
to
to
it
it a
later
lot
in
this
life.
year.
Yeah.
It's every song is so good. But that's the same with Panic as well. You listen to Panic at Disco, that album full. Oh, hot damn. It's going to be really good. I'm really keen.
Awesome.
Yeah, cool. Well, we'll leave it there. Thanks for listening for another episode. Please follow us. Get in touch if you think we were wrong, if you agree. We're going to put up some polls next week about these coming up albums, Panic vs. Fall Out Boy. Next week on the show, the boys and Jacob are joining us. It's going to be really fun. It's going to be a wild one. All right, we'll leave it there, guys. I'll see you later. Happy birthday, Brad. Have an awesome day. Have some beers.
Will do.
All righty.
If you do.
Yeah, cool. I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.